Hey, this is Big Chubbs from Become the Chubster.
We were talking normally until the camera was turned on. It's like the time when like you need just like dumb talk is the time that you can never come up
Say
with.
something stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Something stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
All candor gone.
This is where Ryan comes in handy.
You know, that's a big assumption to make.
He'll
I've
come
had
up with
him.
something like, you know, like some type of thing that everything begins with the same letter. Whatever the hell that's called.
An alliteration?
An alliteration, thank you.
And I typically have a aneurysm after that.
Yes, you do.
Like-
It's funny. I'm sitting there trying not to laugh, but I have to laugh
Alliteration
anyway.
aneurysm?
Yes! I had Ryan on Song Suggestion Friday for so long, and his version of Small Talk always made me cringe. It was so hard. Even Ben would definitely be cringing, but he'd be laughing at how much I was in pain. So much. He would just be losing his shit.
That's frequently why I laugh at his jokes, is the reaction that you give him.
Yeah. We are the perfect comedy duo.
Yes, sir.
I guess we're gonna be playing some Never Have I Ever musician edition, guitar player edition. I mean, you're a bass player.
Yeah, I'm sort of a musician.
Got a list of, that's all the questions I put on there? I thought I put on more. While Never Have I Ever is normally a drinking game for alcohol, we are not going to be doing that today because I'd like to run ads on this video. So we are going to try something that I've never had. Have any of you guys had guaritos before?
No, I can't say that I
How
have.
do I do this? This is, oh, that's right. You put them in the head.
Yeah.
It's fucking 1, 2,
That's why
3.
I didn't pick it.
Woo! Oh, they have like a little like mist thing that popped out. All right, so no, you don't drink it yet, Steve.
I'm thirsty.
All right, so first up, never have I ever tried a guitar windmill.
Ooh, no. I'm not that brave.
Yeah, me neither.
Steve? No, not on a bass.
That's one where like I see people doing guitar windmills and I just wonder how fucking stupid they must be.
Like how much money they have. Like, oh, like if I just break this guitar, I'll just buy a new one.
Yeah, like just all this spare cash sitting around for new guitars and shit. Never have I ever played a show too drunk. Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
That's not
That's
bad.
good.
Tastes less shameful than I feel.
Yeah.
Good.
I can even remember both of us having instances with Crusade where we played shows too drunk.
I tend to try to save it for lower pressure shows. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
I played like a house show. Like a house show, I don't care. Like
I think all of us except Ryan were fucking hammered at that show. That was the first time I've ever seen Steve play drunk.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
And you were going after some of the Jim Beam that I had brought over, and you were smacking
yeah.
that apple pie moonshine.
That's right.
That stuff was fire.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Oh my god! And there was that live stream recording of it. When I finally come in and sing the vocals for "Won't Be Saved," it's just like, oh, it's so cringily bad. I laughed out loud. It was so bad.
Right.
I couldn't hear anything. I was hammered. It was bad news.
that's
Right.
acceptable at a house show, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't with this band, but I actually was playing down in the borough with a red dirt. I know, with a red dirt country band of all things.
Oh, wow.
It was cool though. It was a fun bunch of music. But anyway, I got on stage and I just got into it, and I just kept playing and playing and playing. It was a bass solo section that we took in Whipping Post, and by the Allman Brothers, and my solo section just kept going. I was so into it.
Nice.
And they were like looking at me like, dude,
You gonna be done? Yeah, gonna be done anytime
Done yet?
soon. I would never anticipate you doing that. Dead serious. I would never pick you out to be
I
that
just
guy.
I just got lost in the music, man. I was done. I was done. I couldn't hear. It was like everybody was. The count in was like way back there.
Never have I ever performed a song live at a show out of tune.
Probably. I'm just gonna drink to that.
I don't remember.
I remember one thing specifically was at Springwater. It'd be the G string in normal tuning, but for me it's E flat, and it kept going out of tune every song, every time. I think I'd changed the strings 2 days prior, but I didn't put the proper amount of playtime into it. That was like that mixed with a whole bunch of other things. I was just, God, I hated playing that show.
I had old strings on my guitar. I hadn't played it in a while. I needed a setup really bad, and I just neglected to do that. And it just sounded bad. It was like, surprisingly, because of the way that the intonations were on my guitar, it was mostly the lower strings. So like with the riffy stuff, it was easy to bend them into tune because it was going flat. Kind of like coasted through it.
Oh, word.
But it was still like a thing in the back of my head, like, oh, I have to like keep these notes intonated.
Never have I ever injured myself from my instrument. Yeah, I definitely
I don't
did.
think I've.
I mean, I haven't done anything like major, but there's been a number of times where I've changed strings and like pricked myself.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I
Did that.
I think I've actually bruised myself by running into my headstock one time.
I hit myself in the chin, split my chin open with the horn of my bass. I was jumping around and stuff like that. And got carried away.
That's impressive. That takes skill. Never have I ever been late to a show.
Late.
No,
Define
never
late.
have.
Okay, define late. That's fair.
Like if you have a strict load-in time, like show starts at 9, but load-in's at like 7 or 8. If you're not there at 7 or 8, are you late?
Let's say like you weren't at the show when you were supposed to be like loading onto the stage.
I don't think I've done that.
Okay,
No,
I
I
haven't
have
either.
either.
Look at
I've
us.
always been super
I've either.
early.
So responsible.
Same, super
Yeah.
early. There's no reason you shouldn't be super early unless you're like your schedule's that busy.
I remember I was working in Knoxville a couple summers ago, and I was working like 12-hour shifts, and I had to get permission to leave early for a gig in Chattanooga that I had. It was like a Saturday night. And, you know, this is after consecutive 12-hour shifts. I worked from like my, you know, designated time until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then drove from Knoxville to Chattanooga, played the show, left there at 1 or 2 in the morning to drive back to Knoxville for my 12-hour shift the next day.
Oh my
Was
God.
Still not late.
Oh,
That's
dude, that's
fucking
impressive.
That's actually very
Yeah.
impressive. That's
Yep.
beastly. All right, Ryan. Never have I ever been late to rehearsal.
I've
We
been late to
are all
rehearsal.
drinking. I can pick out instances for each of us multiple times.
Yeah, I don't think I've been late to Crusade rehearsal.
Yeah, you have.
One.
I remember one time you were. I think so. I'm pretty
They've
sure.
all been either here at my house
or
at
at Ryan's place.
Yeah.
Which are like very close to one
So
another.
how have I don't think
I'm-
I've ever been late.
I'm pretty sure there was at least one time.
I'm pretty sure I've always set up and waiting for you guys every time.
I don't believe that's the case, but fine. Never have I ever asked to borrow someone's amp at a show.
Nope.
No, not because of anything that I did on purpose. I've always had, you know, been expected to use somebody else's stuff. That's the only time I hadn't brought my own.
Okay, yeah, that's different. That's different.
Showing up like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, like, can I use your amp?
Yeah.
It's
no,
like,
I've never done that.
It's
Never
like
done, don't be that
remember
guy.
like the Bernie Sanders memes. I'm once again asking. I'm once again asking to borrow your amp. Yeah, never be that guy. Okay,
Yeah.
there might be one instance. This might qualify. It wasn't the amp, but I asked to borrow Jake from Eugen. I asked to borrow his cabinet, not to actually produce sound out of, but so I could get my
Oh,
smaller
yeah.
half stack
Just
off
to
the
elevate
ground.
it.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna technically count that, but that's about as close as I've ever come.
As you've ever come to being that guy.
Yeah, being that fucking guy. Never have I ever been asked to play Freebird.
I mean, jokingly, yeah.
I've had
Even
to.
Steve. Never ever be that person at the show who yells Freebird. No, literally, no one likes you. If you want to ensure you don't get laid that evening, and that nobody will want to talk to you, and the bartender might just add another drink to your tab because fuck you, yell Freebird at the band on stage.
Full bottle of water ready to go for that.
Never have I ever forgotten my guitar, amp, or cable.
I've forgotten cable.
Cable.
I've forgotten my guitar to rehearsal one time.
It's probably because you thought you had it in your car and you didn't.
Yeah, but still, that's not an excuse. I've never been that fucking bad off where it's like you show up at a show and you forgot one piece of gear. It's like, don't risk that shit.
No.
I've not done that.
Always redundant. Always have
Yes.
two of everything.
Yes. Always bring backups because there's always going to be an issue. Never have I ever broken a string at a show.
Bass strings, come on. Those things are impossible almost. You could.
Have you ever
been this-
broken
Have
a
you
bass
broken
I've
string?
one?
never broken
Ever?
a bass string ever.
Yeah,
I've always changed them out before that, or it just felt like the tension was just, no.
Yeah.
I've always
They
caught it
kind of just
beforehand.
die before they.
Yeah, it just
off.
it loses it. You know, there's something to the vibration that just changes when that core is starting to go.
Yeah.
And so I've always changed them before that.
But yeah, like anytime I've actually seen people, fuck you.
We're all within like a half step.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
Okay, no, you guys, I'm deeper.
Yes, you are.
Because you have more.
We're a couple cents off.
You can say, yeah, you guys are only a couple cents off. I'm almost a half step lower.
Yeah.
Anytime you see someone break a string at a live show, you're like, a part of you just like dies inside for them.
Just don't have a floating tremolo system when you do.
Yeah, that's one of the many reasons I ditched that thing. Man. Like until I can pay someone else to fucking work on my guitars for me, fuck that. Never have I ever been too sick to play a show.
No, I actually played a show with the flu a year or two ago that was really bad. Remember we did that podcast and I could barely talk?
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Like a month before that, I had played a show at the East Room, and I had to do the door because at the time the East Room, they had like a thing set up where like, you know, you could do the door yourself to not have to pay a door guy basically, so the production fee would be lower. So I was like, yeah, I booked it. I was like, I'll do the door, have more money for the bands. And like a couple days before, I got really sick, and like I could barely talk. I was like shaking and clammy. I was like, fuck. So I did the door for the whole show, and then we played last.
Holy fuck, dude.
And I played the whole
My
show like
God.
about to die. So I was probably technically too sick to play the show, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, okay, that's, I mean, like, you would have to, like, guys, I can't play. Like, that type of sick.
I mean, no.
I got pretty close on our last show, the Leap Day show. I was feeling really fucking awful, and I had the live stream that day. I was miserable live streaming on that Saturday, and then I had to go play the show. And I just took one of those emergency packs and laid down for 45 minutes, and thank God I started to feel more normal.
Maybe that was the coronavirus.
I thought that might be the coronavirus for a good while, and even still, I'm kind of like, that might have been the coronavirus.
Right.
Never have I ever been the bass player of a band because I was the least talented guitar player. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
See, the fact that
Right.
that makes sense says something. That's all I'm gonna
About certain kinds of
say.
bands, sure.
Yeah.
No, it's been the other way around where like
I keep trying to not, I haven't taken a sip yet out of turn, but I keep wanting to.
I thought you were admitting it.
No, I've always been a bass player. So,
Yeah, you've always
feel
started.
whether or not I was
You've
the
always
least talented, I always started out there in the first place.
you always started and stayed at the bottom.
Pretty much. See what I mean about the whole musician thing?
See, okay, that wasn't me trying to be demeaning. It's because the bass holds down the bottom. See, that's your biases coming into play, asshole.
you're triggering people, Mike. You gotta stop. Stop,
Right.
Mike. We apologize on Mike's behalf.
I have been a bass player in 2 bands since I've been in Nashville. Live Until Morning.
Yeah.
I played bass after you left for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't because I was the least talented guitar player, I can tell you that much.
No.
I also played bass in this little pop cover band, which was more of just like they needed a bass player and I wanted to play live shows, and it was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great time, but that broke up like right after the first show that we played, which is sad.
That sucks.
That was a great show, man. It was like we definitely fucked a number of things up, and no one gave a shit. Everyone was having a fucking blast, dancing around. The singer, oh my god. We were singing Brick House. The singer had the lyrics right in front of him and somehow managed to repeat nothing but, "She's a brick house."
That's the only line they sang.
The whole song
and
for
over.
3 minutes.
Oh no!
we had moved on to like a different part of the song. We kind of like had to come back to that part, and we were just fucking vamping that part for 3 minutes,
Oh,
figuring
my
out where we were
God.
going next. We all looked at each other like, "What the hell just happened?" He broke. Never have I ever broken a headstock.
I've like chipped it. But
That's not. Yeah, I mean like straight up like busted
Busted
off.
it off.
like I said, I've only bought 3 guitars ever. I still have all 3 of them.
Yup. So we're responsible
We're so
enough.
responsible
Yes.
that
Resp-
we've hardly touched our.
I know.
You have to keep in mind, just because it doesn't look like much, each one of these sips is pure refined shame.
I thought you were gonna say sugar.
Oh.
You were refined sugar.
Shit. Never have I ever made a face while messing up a solo part live.
Woo.
Yep. It's the one thing they always tell you not to do that every musician has
Can't
done.
help do.
Yeah. If you have any level of passion on what you're doing and you mess up a solo live, it's next to impossible not to make a face. I've been working very hard on this for us.
The thing is, I think you're gonna react to it. I don't think you're supposed to be stoic when it happens. I think it's about finding a way to take the reaction that you have and play it off.
And make it
Yes.
not obvious to everyone that you fuck something up.
Be more kind of like, I don't know what that was.
Never have I ever started playing the wrong song at a show.
Oh shit.
Does it count if you didn't know the set list and they count off a song and you don't know what song it is going into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worse if you did know the set list, but that still counts.
Well, in my defense, the set list changed multiple times. I didn't
During
have
the
it.
show.
Well, like before the show, and it was a long set.
And that's fair. You
It
said
was like a
in
2-hour
defense.
set, and the count-offs was just 4 clicks, and that was the count-off for so many of the songs, and they're all around the same tempo.
Is this Neverhogs?
Yeah.
Yep. Never have I ever been asked to play a song I didn't know. Basic ass white bitches.
I mean, yeah, I have.
Or a
I
drink
faked
of.
it.
This is more a drink of irritation and indignance than it is a drink of shame. Shame on me for not being fucking omniscient. My bad.
I got asked to play a whole set of songs I didn't know.
Your
Is this our last show?
Your
you're
drink of
talking about?
redemption.
Yeah, right. Their bass player wasn't coming in, and they said, "Here's the CD. Can you mind doing it?"
Like
Nope.
when? How much time did they give you?
I had 15 minutes.
Were these people mentally handicapped?
No. In fact, it was the Bohemian Arts Festival for a friend. and
Okay, yeah, they're
So-
mentally handicapped.
This metal band was like, "Hey, can you play our show?" You played one of the songs once 2 years ago. I recorded the bass for them. And yeah, they wanted me to do the whole set, so I had to listen to the CD and just try to remember as much as I possibly could and went up there and faked it.
Pretend like you're actually gonna remember the songs, let alone the bass parts.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been in
Well,
a
it was
similar
pretty.
situation.
It wasn't difficult music at all, really. I mean, it was simple, progressions or whatever, but standards.
But you need to know them to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to know what order they go in, but I just kind of watched the guitar player and winged it. So, I mean, I wasn't necessarily on point for all the changes, but
Oh, that was fun. I had a good time doing this. Let us know if you guys want some more Never Have I Ever type of questions and games, and we'll see if we can find something else other than Juanitos.
Let's see how
Still good.
responsible we are, how much we have left.
Oh, I've been taking huge gulps. Oh,
mean, I have
Steve's
too.
lower than me now.
And I've actually been taking big gulps too.
Oh.
I think I'm
Yeah.
just a more responsible musician than you.
Let us know down below what you guys thought of this, and if you'd like to see another one. I want to get these guys and sadly also Ryan involved with more videos. I think it'd be a good time. If you guys like this video, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, share it around. Like, that super helps the channel out a lot. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Become the Night. Jesse, what's your Instagram?
It's just my name.
Jesse Perk,
Yep.
Jersey Perk.
Irish Steve ND33.
That is not accurate at all.
It isn't? Oh,
No,
that's what it was.
no, you're at Steve Casto.
I am it? Oh yeah, then there you're there.
You know you just drank like soda, not like...
Actual alcohol. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Rock on. Thanks for joining me with the Rock On guys. I definitely don't feel
Oh, I
fucking
thought that was
honored.
your thing. Sorry, we
Fuck
could do it again.
Fuck you both.